You're listening to the Packernet Podcast Network.
Do you want to be part of something bigger? At Siemens, we use AI to transform the everyday. Our engineering solutions drive innovation and change. We're leading in technology and building a sustainable future. Join Siemens and make an impact to transform the everyday. Apply now and be part of something extraordinary. Visit siemens.co.in/careers.
So now we fast forward to the second quarter. The Packers are leading 12-7. All right. And this is the A.J. Brown 20-yard gainer, the explosive play on Jair. Jair was on A.J. Brown most of the day. And I remember seeing A.J. Brown cook him on this side of the field. And in this case, this is A.J. Brown and Jair down here. So what that tells us, guys, is at least to some extent, Jair Alexander followed A.J. Brown. Okay, so that is in the playbook for Jeff Hafley. This is what we wanted, right? This is what fans wanted, was Jair on the number one receiver and have him follow. You got to understand, you sacrifice some of the manipulation that you can do pre-snap on defense when you're hindering yourself and you're saying, no, this one guy has to follow that guy. You're now allowing the offense to even more dictate what you're doing on defense when you play it that way, right? Yeah. So this is second quarter, 9:26 left. It's a 3rd and 8 play. A.J. Brown, 20 yards on Jair. Again, we're up 12-7 here, okay? Now, this is what I'm seeing defensively, and you guys correct me if you disagree, okay? Let's go a little bit smaller on this size here. So, nickel 2-4-5, overload right. Tim, you remember when we were looking into the screen grabs of the last 4 games of the Jets defense last year, and the one thing that stood out to us was they like to run this overload look.
Yep.
You remember that?
I do.
Here it is. There's your overload look. You've even got your Will Backer on the line of scrimmage. So you got 4 mugging the line of scrimmage over here. You got Quay mugging the B gap on the right. And then you've got our boy Rashawn Gary out there in a wide 9. We talked about this. Overload one side to free up one-on-one for Rashawn Gary. That's what Hafley did here. This is what's interesting, though. Check this out. You remember me talking about the defensive linemen are going to be dropping into coverage and people are going to be upset about it, Tim?
Yep.
I've seen it at BC, right? You've seen our boy Robert Saleh's defense do it a little bit in New York from time to time. This is what you're going to do. Overload right. It's going to be a D tackle, all right? D tackle, fire zone 3. And it's real simple. It's going to be a cover 3 defense essentially, okay? Cover 3, and then these guys are going to fire, right? Everybody's firing here. And what's going to happen is both D tackles, Tim, are going to engage and then drop back, and they're going double rat here. They're playing underneath. Isn't that wild? This guy's kind of playing this midline hook here, if you will, and then he's going to kind of buzz down a touch. So you've got a cover 3 look. So when you're in a cover 3 fire zone blitz, Tim, the top rule, number one priority, you cannot let these receivers get behind that umbrella of a cover 3.
Yep.
Now, watch Jair Alexander down here. We're going to go 50%. Right. Ball snap, look at Ja, cover 3. See him bite, okay? Now watch this. Oh, you just can't do it, man. You can't be that aggressive and miss that tackle. Look at all this space out here, Tim. There is nobody out here. You've got to square up and make that tackle. Not only that, you've got to use the out of bounds as an extra defender. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Like you've got to know that out of bounds line, that chalk is my friend. That's an extra defender for our defense. Why would you play it to the outside shoulder? I know some people are thinking he slipped, Clayton. The turf sucked. He did slip, but right there, he's going to the outside shoulder.
Right.
You've got to play this inside out. You've got to. Thank God for Xavier McKinney. Not that it really matters because I think they end up scoring on this drive anyway. But watch his hustle play. I think that's Xavier McKinney. I could be wrong. But again, isn't that wild? Kenny Clark, and I don't know if that's Carl Brooks, Devontae White, or Colby Wood, and somebody playing middle zone. Isn't that wild?
It's crazy.
Think about it. So you blitz Quay and Isaiah McDuffie, and you drop your 2 D tackles underneath in rack coverage. It's
Fire
crazy.
Joe Barry.
Exactly. So again, there's the missed tackle. We'll speed it up a bit. And was that? No, it was Bull, wasn't it? Was that Bull? No, it was McKinney.
That was 29. That was McKinney.
Good hustle, man. Saved the touchdown on that specific play there. Let's get the box cam look here. Remember what I said about the D tackles, guys. And you see the overload. So essentially what you've got technique-wise is you have a 4 tech, a 7 tech, a wide 9, a 1 tech, or some would say a 2-eye because it's inside shoulder, wide 9, and then you got Quay mugging over here at what would essentially be probably be a 3 tech. All right. So again, the play is going to be blitz, blitz, drop into coverage, blitz, blitz. That makes sense? That's your fire zone look. DT, fire zone 3. Watch them engage, touch, we're back.
Yep.
Ball comes out quick. Now, listen, we got pressure on the quarterback, too. The pressure hit home. That's just Jalen Hurts making a big boy throw right here. Look at this.
Yep.
Bang.
That was Keyshawn getting in there.
Yep. So they did fire Key. That was Key on that side. Got it. So Jair Alexander missed tackle. I don't want to harp on it too much, but it is what it is. It's explosive.
Yeah, I mean the slip on the questionable turf is one thing, but taking a terrible angle to the ball carrier is a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, definitely. And again, this is just one of many times that I watch the tape. I look at the PFF grade. I watch the tape, and they line up. You know, as they suggest, even though Jair had an interception in the end zone, they said Jair had a bad game. He did. He really did. So after that led to a Barkley. That explosive led to a Barkley touchdown run. So now the Eagles lead 14-12. This play here, we're going to go to the second quarter, 5:22 left, 3rd and 10. 3rd and 10, and this is the 70-yard pass to Jaden Reed. Let's set the play up, Tim. We got 11 gun, dub nasty, cheat to nub right bunch, switch Salem, slot climb, Y leak, T angle. Let's talk about what all that means, okay? First of all, 11 gun, you know what it is, right? 1 running back, 1 tight end. So you're 11 gun, you're dub nasty, 2 by 2, everybody inside the numbers, making it a nasty split, right? And now you're going to go Salem on this side. Well, first of all, you're going to cheat to nub right bunch, okay? And what that means is this guy is going to use cheat motion. I think it's Christian Watson across the field to the bunch set, but the ball is going to be snapped before he stops. So that's cheat motion, right? And then you've got your nub over here on the right side, which is our boy. I think it's Tucker Craft. It could be Musgrave, but your tight end is going to be the only tight end on the right. When he's attached, we call that nub, okay? So that's why you go – that's what it means when we say you're dub nasty, and then you're going to cheat to nub right bunch, and you're still in a nasty split. Now, Salem or switch Salem is a dig corner, okay? So essentially what's going to happen on this switch is Christian Watson's going to come out here and try to run a dig. Originally, I said it was double climb dagger. I could see how people would think that because it's not a sharp dig cut in, but there's so many choice routes involved with Matt LaFleur's offense. You can call this switch Salem as well. A switch concept because when the ball snapped, they're switching places, okay? Meaning Christian Watson's on the inside. When the ball snapped, he's going to end up going outside. Now, the other aspect of switch Salem is the corner route. So this guy is going to run a corner route, okay? Now, slot climb is real simple. Jaden Reed is just going to run a climb route out here or a crosser, a deep crosser. Y leak is the Y is just going to chip and going to leak out. And then the T angle is real simple, okay? The T angle is, I called it a circle on Twitter. He didn't sharpen it off very much. It could be called a circle or an angle. He does more of this right here. The goal is walk these guys out. You've got your check down across the middle. You got your check down to the sideline. No matter what defense is called, you've got a safety valve for your quarterback, okay? So, again, the call is 11 gun, dub nasty, cheat the nub right bunch, switch Salem, slot climb, Y leak, T angle. Let's roll the tape. I'm going to keep it up until you see there's your motion, right? And there's your switch release. And look at our boy Jaden Reed just running butt naked through the trailer park, man. Matt LaFleur knows how to scheme the offense up. And by the way, I don't know if you guys see my video I tweeted on with Dave Chappelle saying, "Got you, B," on this juke right here. Woo, Tim, did you see it? Goodness gracious. All right, so let's look at it from a different angle here. You're muted, Tim. If you're still talking, you may have walked out of the room, though.
No, I'm here. My bad.
All right, it's all good, man. It's all good. All right, here's a better look, too. Again, you're going to see the cheat motion come over. They're showing a little bit of an overload, right? They got a nose. They got a zero tech. They got a 4-eye. They got a wide 9 and a wide 9. 33's mugging on that 4, probably just to keep that tackle at home. And he's actually going to drop into coverage. Seen Christian come across. You see the pocket started to collapse just a touch. What happened out here to the left? Did Zach Tom just deal with somebody, or did that dude just failed it? That's Tuck Norris getting a hand on him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
All right. And look at like Jordan Love, man. For all the accuracy issues he had the other night on Friday night, Tim, look at this flick of the wrist.
Yeah, off his right foot too. That's not easy to do.
There's that juke. Tim, you seeing this juke right here, sir. Whoop.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop. Jaden Reed, second-year player. That dude's going to be an absolute monster, man. A monster. So, again, that play was 11 gun, dub nasty, cheat the nub, right bunch, Salem switch, or switch Salem, slot climb, Y leak, T ankle. Now, anything you want to add to that play, Tim? I'm sorry. Anything at all you want to comment on that?
No, Bird's the man. That's all. Jaden Reed is just so fun to watch. And you're right, Matt LaFleur, this was one of his better play calls of the day. I felt like he didn't call the greatest game down the stretch, but this was one of the better calls he had for sure.
I agree. I think when it comes to the passing game, man, he's excellent. Like he's always scheming guys open. The running plays leave me scratching my head. Like you don't have the hat count there. You don't have, you know what I'm saying? It's just I feel like you're running.
We will get it. We will get a hat count where we want it. We will have a good run, and then he gets away from it.
Right.
It's almost like you'll note what's working to like go back to it later, and then by the time you go back to it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so immediately following that, the Philadelphia Eagles end up getting a field goal. Okay, so at this point right now, Green Bay still leads 19-17. Okay, after the Philly field goal. So here we are in the third quarter, 14:09 left. This is a 2nd and 7 play. This is a doozy. This is the second most important play of the game, Tim, and it's why we chose it. This and the Jordan Love interception are the two plays, in my opinion, that decided this ball game. And I'll explain why here in a second. This is the A.J. Brown 67-yard touchdown pass. All right, let's talk about what we're in here, play call-wise. Nickel 4-2-5, okay? This time you're over to the strong side, so you're in an overlook, okay? You've got a 4-man front. We're going nickel 2-4-5, cover one hole, and 25 is going to end up being the hole player, okay? So cover one hole is man coverage, man coverage, man coverage. You probably got some man coverage under here with a little green dog attached, I imagine. So man, right? But what's going to end up happening is I think you're going to go double rat, and I think 25 ends up in the hole. I believe it's this guy right here. Okay, so you've got a deep safety, cover one man. What I want you to key in on, though, is this matchup up here, I think is where it's at. I might have the plays crossed up. I think I've got it right. Maybe it's no, it's not at the bottom. It's definitely at the top. Yeah, it's at the top. There it is. Okay, that makes sense now. So you see they switch. Now you see, what do you got here? Ja on A.J. Brown. Watch that matchup. Watch these two cats right here, okay? And keep in mind, Tim, look at your safety. And I believe that's Javon Bullard that's deep. I think that's him. So you're going cover one man, right? And then you're going to have a hole player as well. Matter of fact, it might end up being McKinney that's in the hole. But when we say hole, cover one deep, one in the hole, everyone else is man coverage across the board, okay? When you're playing cover one man, you cannot get beat deep. You cannot get beat deep down a sideline. Go back to the Jair missed tackle. Mental mistake more than a physical mistake. He shot for the outside half of the player that close to the sideline when he should have been shooting for the inside half. Now he should be prioritizing not letting the receiver beat him over the top. Watch what he does. He bites. That little stutter move. He bites. It's game over.
Yep.
And again, man coverage, right? Javon Bullard does the best he can, but that guy's got a full head of steam, and he's off to the races. We wanted more man coverage. I said it all year long. You get more man coverage, you're going to get more explosive plays.
Yep.
That right there, probably the most important play of the game. It was cover one man. Now, from a matchup standpoint, Tim, tell me if you agree or disagree here. You want Jair on their best receiver, correct?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody disagrees with that. We got it. It just wasn't good enough, and that, I don't mean to pile on, but it's like, my man, you're getting paid like the best corner in the league. You got to be able to cover that. And you can see him over here to the right, a little bit hard to see from this cam. Maybe we'll see a little if pressure was involved or not. So Kenny got pancaked there. Obviously, he slipped. That's really what allowed Jalen to stand up, or to step up in the pocket and make that throw. And again, Josh 2 steps behind, man. Bullard's got to do a little bit better job staying to the inside there, but obviously that's on Jair there. So
yeah, I think it looked like Bull was halfway between deciding whether or not to go right at Brown and play that ball, and then he just got caught. He just got caught over pursuing.
Yeah, makes sense for sure. So big play there. Now it's trouble, as we would say, right? Third quarter, 13:25 left. Philadelphia now leads 24-19. I added this play in because it led to the Christian Watson 2-yard touchdown pass, which we're not going to show because it's literally a 2-yard slant. How much could you break down there, right? It was a perfect throw, great catch, is what it is. This is the play that set that up, though, Tim. It's the reason I chose it. It's an explosive play that set it up. 13:25 left in the third quarter. This is on 1st and 10. Tucker Kraft, 29-yard pass. All right, let's talk about what the play is. 11 gun, bunch nasty X, slot cheat the dubs, play action, switch, the original switch concept, which is a wheel post.
Kick off the 2024 football season with Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. It's the easiest way to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch your winnings roll in. This September, get automatic win every week by picking Caleb Williams to get just 1 passing yard. That's right, 4 weeks of free wins, but only if you jump on it before September ends. And don't forget, you can win up to 100 times your money with as little as 4 correct picks. Prize Picks even has injury insurance, so if your player leaves the game early, you're still in the game. I've been loving Prize Picks, my go-to for simple, fast, and fun fantasy action. When my picks hit, I get paid in as little as 15 minutes. Download Prize Picks now and use code PACKDADDY to get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code PACKDADDY for $50 guaranteed. Prize Picks, run your game. Remember, Prize Picks is a skill-based fantasy game, making your lineups just got a whole lot more exciting.
And then you've got your cab concept, drag dig, and T cut, which is an in route. Okay, so again, 11 gun, bunch nasty X, slot cheat the dubs, play action, switch, cab, T cut. When we break all that down and what it means, you know what 11 gun means. We've already described it on here several times. Slot cheat to dubs. So your slot is going to cheat over and give you a dubs look, okay? So now you've got a 2x2 set. Get your tight end on the right with the Z. You'll have a slot, which was the guy who just cheated over, and then you got your X up at the top, which is, I believe, Romeo Dobbs, I think. So here's what you're going to do, Tim. It's going to be a play-action pass. You're going to run a switch, which is a will post, okay? So he's going to motion over. He's going to give you the will route, all right? This guy is going to give you the post route. And now you're going to go cab, which is a drag dig. So the inside tight end is going to drag or a shallow cross, and then you're going to have a dig off the backside. That's called cab. It's like a shallower version of slot cross, Tim. Doesn't that look just like slot cross? The only difference is slot cross is it's a deep crosser. So, and then you've got your T cut off the play action, and he's just going to cut inside. All right. So there's your play again. 11 gun, bunch nasty X, slot cheat to dubs, play action, switch, cab, T cut. On three. All right, here we go. Let's roll it here. And again, this is to Tucker Kraft. So watch the cheat. Notice how they got everybody to shift over. Now you know it's probably man. See how that guy buzzed down real hard, Tim? Yep. He knows, okay, this is probably man coverage. So if it's man coverage, bang, bang. What Jordan's going to key in on now is this drag route. Who's got the drag route in the middle? His eyes are going to go to the linebackers. Watch Tucker Kraft. Right across the face, butt naked.
Yep.
And the main reason it happened is because this guy got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Watch him bite on the play fake. That's why it's so important to run play action. Watch him bite on this play fake. Game over, right? So now Tucker Kraft, we call him Mr. Yak for a reason, don't we? Look at my man.
Yep. That's a difference in Jordan Love's play from last year too, is compared to this play here. That ball was out right on time.
Absolutely.
I mean, he would have held this too long last year. As soon as he saw Tucker release there, the ball's out, and that's what you need to do.
Yeah. And look, kudos to Josh Jacobs too, doing the little things. Watch this. I just pick up on it. I love doing Chalktalk because I catch stuff the second, third time around. So watch 17 shift over. Watch Josh Jacobs. See that little half step out?
Yep.
Look at 17. You see 17 go with him?
Yep.
Watch. All right. Now, so he's thinking, oh, he tried to jab me outside. This is a run.
Right.
All right, let's play the run. Here we go. Showing power.
And now 17's washed out of the play.
Yep. And look at Tucker.
Right behind him. Hi.
Beautiful arm angle by Jordan, too, to get it overhand, make sure you create a throwing lane.
Yep.
And Tucker just absolutely phenomenal after the catch, man. Beautiful job. Look at our boy. Who's that out here blocking? Who is that? Jaden Reed. God, I love that dude, man. I'm going to have to get me a Jaden Reed jersey that I can wear. I got the autograph one behind me, but I got to have one to wear.
Let's go.
To wear to weddings and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, out to dinner at fancy restaurants.
Exactly. So that Tucker Kraft 29-yard pass set up the Christian Watson 2-yard touchdown grab, okay? After that touchdown grab, now the Packers lead 26-24. Remember me talking about the 67-yard touchdown pass to A.J. Brown, Tim? I said that's one of the two most important plays of the game.
Yep.
Here comes the second, and it sucks. It sucks bad. We're going to break down what I think happened. It doesn't mean I'm right. Everybody's so damn sensitive on Twitter. You've got a first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback arguing with a career backup quarterback who mainly spent time on the practice squad. Let me tell you something. They know better. They know more than me. Both of them do, I promise you. But our boy Kurt Warner seemed to think it was supposed to be a hot read. Therefore, the mistake was on Jordan because he shouldn't have thrown the hot. And Ben Kurt was saying, no, this is a play that's in the playbook. He was supposed to flatten that off. I see both of their points. I've got to side with Kurt Warner. First of all, he's got a Super Bowl ring. He's got an MVP. And he also has Luke Musgrave looking back as the hot here. So I'll explain what that means. We come out in 11-gun empty, Trey right, T-flex right, Ohio Y-post drive. Now let's talk about what all that means. Empty set, 11-gun. There's your running back. There's your T, okay? When we say T-flex right, he's flexed outside the numbers to the right, okay? Trey right means 3 targets to the right side, and a tight end is one of those. There's your tight end right here, okay? So That's why we call it Trey right, empty. There's nobody in the backfield. Empty Trey right, T right flex. Okay, so there's your Trey right. There's your T flex. And then we're going to go with the passing concepts. Ohio is a go with an out route. Okay, so this is just going to be a 9-go, and then you're going to run a little out route underneath here. That's called Ohio. That concept is Y post. Your Y is going to be running a post, and I know that because that's what Kurt Benkert said he was supposed to do, was run a post, and he's saying he's supposed to get flatter out here. Now, what Kurt Warner's saying is they blitzed, and because this guy blitzes, that means Musgrave has to go hot, meaning he's got to look back to the quarterback, and that's going to be the quarterback safety valve in that blitz setup. They've got 5 on the line of scrimmage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're blitzing a free guy. He is the free blitzer. They've got to know that, okay? So, once again, Ohio, with your 9-go, you're out underneath. You're going to have what's supposed to be a post here, okay? I'm going to draw it the way he ran it. And then you've got drive concept, which is a dig and a drag, okay? So the dig goes deeper on a drive concept, and the drag comes shallow. Keep in mind, guys, this was a 2nd and 11 play. The ball should have gone here. That's where it should have gone. Everyone's playing soft. You're clearing the middle of the field out. He's going to have momentum. You've got to know here, when this Y post is covered up, you got to be able to check it down to the running back here. Okay, I'm going to talk about their disagreement on Twitter here in just a second because we're going to get a much better view. Now, again, second most important, probably the most important play of the game. You can't throw that ball, Tim. You can't. Yeah. I don't care what Kurt Benkert has to say. You can't throw that ball right there. You understand what I'm saying?
No. Like, and if you're going to, back it up once.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
If you're gonna throw that ball, that ball's got to come out way, way sooner.
Yeah, and it's got to come out harder.
Like right now, that ball's got to be out, not floating in late over the middle. Jordan, we know this. Yes, we learned this lesson last year in San Francisco.
All right, so let's talk about their big disagreement here, okay? And I'm going to draw it up for you again as soon as we get through this black screen. Okay, so what's going to happen is when 17 blitzes here, watch. This is why I agree with Kurt Warner. Watch Luke Musgrave. He's going to start his route, and as soon as he recognizes 17 blitzing, he's going to look back. He's going to put his eyes back to the quarterback while he continues to run the skinny post. He's going hot, but if he goes hot, then he can't just run across the field. He's expecting to be the hot receiver. That's why Jordan's got to know as soon as that guy fires, we get a free runner. You hammer that hot quick, or you move on to your next read or try to bounce out of the pocket and make something happen.
Yep.
Let's watch it here now. Watch Musgrave. As soon as the ball snapped, he recognizes 17. Dog blitz. Now watch Muggs. See him get his head around? Hot. Get that thing out. Right. Bang. That's what Musgrave's looking for this. That's what he's looking for right now. That's a hot.
Yep.
So, again, no disrespect to Benkert. He's forgot more about football than I'll ever know. I got to side with Kurt Warner on this. That's a hot read. Now, what he continues to do is run downfield. What Benkert's saying is you got to cut this thing sharp across the field. You can't just continue to run skinny. Well, if you're hot, you don't want to just randomly cut away from the hot. You don't want to randomly cut towards the defender if you're the hot.
Right, then the ball's going to be behind you.
Right. So, again, it's just one of those things that I think the best way to explain it, he went hot and Jordan didn't expect him to be hot. That's what I'm thinking. He's expecting him to kind of get out here underneath, and instead he goes hot and kind of keeps that same path. So, again, that's the way I see it there. Protection held up pretty damn well, to be honest with you. Yeah. You know, you didn't even have to rush that thing out of there. So
it looked like he was trying to drop it in the bucket there. He was trying to sneak one in over that linebacker's head there, over 53's head.
I did hear some people say this should have been pass interference on 53. I can see the argument, Tim. He's not even looking at the ball, and he just runs right into Musgrave.
Yeah.
But it's pretty darn good timing too, though. You know what I mean? Like
right.
It's not egregious.
And he didn't reroute him either. So it's not like he changed the I don't think he really I wouldn't call PI there. The best call is no call in those situations. Ron Tolbert, if you're watching.
If you have to question it, it's not a penalty.
Yeah.
Right
Here's the guy.
All right. So again, that was on 2nd and 11, and I'm not going to roll it back. You guys go watch it yourself. You can rewind it. Go look at Josh Jacobs on that play. you had time to get to that check down. He was wide open, 53 back to the line of scrimmage, right? His back was to the line of scrimmage. If you hit Josh Jacobs on that drag, he's probably running for days, to be honest with you. It's going to take that safety to end up picking the ball off to come down the opposite side of the field to make that tackle. And again, we're Monday morning quarterbacking here, we are.
Right.
So it is what it is. All right, so that Love interception obviously set them up with great field position. They went on. Saquon Barkley got a 2-yard touchdown run. So that gave them the lead 31-26. So again, to me, the two biggest plays so far, the A.J. Brown 67-yard touchdown catch on Jair, and now this interception by Jordan Love, just a bad mental mistake. So Saquon Barkley, like I said, gave them the lead 31-26. Now, after that, Narveson, we drove down the field, and Narveson gave us a field goal, a 43-yarder, I might add, that made the score 31-26. Okay, so here we are now, fourth quarter, 3rd and 13. This is the Jair interception. Okay, and listen, this obviously didn't win the game for the Packers, but it is worth mentioning. I don't know what this play call was, Tim. And typically, when you can't figure out what the play call was, you've got one or two guys freelancing. Okay, so let's talk about what it is. And I can already see I've got a typo here. People are going, Clayton, you got 12 men on the field, a nickel 4-3-5. It's supposed to be nickel 4-2-5. So I apologize for that. Let me see if I can.
Wouldn't be the first time we get caught with 12 men on the field.
You got that right, man. Let me get this straightened back up here. I've got everything all out of whack now. Let me just a second here. Let me drop that down. All right. I had it lined up perfect earlier, and I screwed the pooch here trying to get cute. Give me just a second. All right, here we go.
Well, I got a feeling that my boy number 23 is probably the freelancer on this play.
Yeah. And I think Key did a little bit too, or at least he's unsure. And let's talk about it here. First of all, let me fix this. What's this? 2. Nickel 4-2-5. There you go.
It looks like Bullard's trying to communicate something to Keyshawn there.
That's what I was going to point out. Key's looking at him, asking him something. Now, that's never a good sign. The ball's about to be snapped, and you're looking back going, yeah, well, we, you know what I mean? Not a good look. So nickel 4-2-5, they're playing shell. Notice the shell coverage. Oh, no, what are we doing? Tim, we're inside the 20. How dare we play too high look?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's one of the more popular looks in the league right now by some of the best defensive minds in the game.
That's right.
I think this is cover 4 zone match. I put a question mark because I'm not sure. Zone match, if and then. If they do this, then it becomes that. I think what you've got here is this becomes man coverage on the outside. If one of these two guys go verts, this becomes man coverage. So you've got kind of this quarter responsibilities, right? Deep is the way I see it here. Now, cover 4 zone match. Keyshawn, like we pointed out pre-snap, he's unsure what the hell's going on right now. He's trying to communicate. We're going to roll the tape a touch. Now he's looking back. And you look, Javon Bullard's still screaming something at him. It's almost like he's telling him, get back here or something, right? The way he's pointing. And look, you see Keyshawn's hands? He's going, I don't know. Here's the problem I got with this guy. I'm not trying to pick on people, but a big problem last year was Jair Alexander and Keyshawn Nixon. We're one game in, and Jair Alexander and Keyshawn Nixon are becoming problems. Tim.
Josh's looking at Bullard too.
Yeah.
They're both looking, and they both have the same body language that I don't know.
I know the other side looks pretty confident, don't they? They look like they know what they're doing.
They sure do. But you got John Keyshawn looking at Bullard going,
Exactly. So what you're going to end up seeing happen is he is going to bail out over here to the side because I think he's picking up, I believe this guy, it's either him or him runs a deep route. One of these two run a deep route to the corner, and you're going to see the safety pick him up. Watch Jair here. Keying on Jair. He still don't know what the heck's going on right here. Key on our boy Jair, okay? Ball snapped. All right, that guy fades inside. So now the reason I think it's if and then, if this guy goes vert, now this becomes man coverage, right? So watch Keyshawn. For whatever reason, Keyshawn decides to run with the guy too. So you got two guys covering one man. Not a good look. Now look at Ja underneath.
Beat.
Right? Look at Ja. And all of a sudden right here, I see a guy motioning for the ball. I'm just going to go to him. All it takes right here, Ja is running full sprint to the end zone now. This is his responsibility.
Yep.
If he pump fakes that and throws right here, that's an easy 6. So this is one of those plays where Jair freelanced and made a damn play. I guarantee you he got a negative mark for it in the meeting. They're going,
and so did Keyshawn too, because Keyshawn's responsibility was the one running butt naked through the trailer park.
Yep, exactly. So again, I think it was some kind of cover 4 match, and they didn't get it on that side. Therefore, it ended up looking more like a cover 3 match. But
I'll tell you what, the next time Ja picks one off in the end zone, I hope one of the Packers just tackles him.
Bro,
just
watch his teammate. I was screaming at the top of my lungs, go down. Watch his teammates. Watch his teammates right here. Look, Quay ain't even blocking. He's like, go down. Look at Keyshawn. Yeah. Keyshawn's got his hands out.
He's like, bruh.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Go down. Right? You'll see another angle here in a minute where they're screaming. Look, and now they're emotional. Okay, now come on out. Yeah, all right, let's go now.
Right. And so here's Ja ahead of every single person that could possibly put a block out for him. This is why you don't return. You're not a return man.
So you lost something like 5 to 7 yards in visible yardage on that. Listen, it's not the end of the world, but still, he getting a negative mark for that too. Go down in the end zone, right?
Yep.
So again, here's a little bit different look from it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's got to be – you got to automatically go down in the end zone in that situation.
Right, here's a good look. Look at Ja right here. I think that's Ja. No, that's Key right there. Watch Ja come into the frame. No, that's Ja, yeah. You see what I'm saying? If Jalen just pump faked that, pulled it down, he's going to have a guy wide open right there. Yep. But again, great play on the ball by Ja. Got great hands still. I don't know what this is, but
yeah, and I don't know what he saw. Like, look at this is a great camera angle. Like, what the hell lane are you seeing that you think you can run?
Right.
I'm all for a guy bringing it out of the end zone if he sees daylight up the seam or something. Go ahead and attack, but you're dancing around back there. That's not a good look.
Yeah, not a good look at all, man. So again, that play specifically, why did I show it? Because it was just another example of guys being confused. We can no longer blame Joe Barry. 2 of the guys that were on the defense last year are still confused. It's a new defensive coordinator now, right? So I don't mean to pile on or harp on it or anything, but it is what it is, Tim. That's it's a bad look, man. So that play there, that interception obviously gave them another shot. We went down, we kicked the field goal. Narveson kicked the field goal, made it 31-29. And then Philly marched back down the field and got a field goal, made it 34-29. There were no explosive plays on that drive. It was just kind of a nickel and dime. I feel like we covered the most important aspects of the game. And again, if you were to say, all right, what plays matter the most? These were the 9 plays to me that mattered the most, you know? Yeah. And the 2 that were, if you said, all right, you got to pick 2, maybe 3 plays that were the deciding factor, those are the 2 plays, Tim. The 67-yarder to A.J. Brown, it's an explosive and a touchdown in one blown coverage. You're being aggressive with cover 1 man. And then, of course, you had the interception by Love, which you could chalk it up to miscommunication, whatever you want to call it. Again, I'm going to throw my hat in the ring with Kurt Warner and say you could tell Musgrave went hot. When someone goes hot, they're not going to, oh, yeah, that's right, I'm supposed to flatten that route off. I just don't see it like that.
I'm with you on that, too.
I could be wrong.
I think Kurt Warner's right there. I would agree on that. Yeah. And the thing with Jordan is, you know, like you said, you want to either get that ball out to Musgrave the second he goes hot, or you got to go to your next progression and hit that check down on the outside. And I don't even think Jordan saw that, because he was, if I remember correct, when we saw that all 22 camera angle from the front, I mean, his eyes were left the whole time, and then he sees Musgrave go hot at the last second there, and it looked like he tried to float one in there, get cute with it, and it cost us dearly. And it's just tough. It's a tough pill to swallow. It's going to be difficult doing these, you know, next 3 or 4 weeks of Chalk Talks without Jordan Love at the helm. And I'm sure we'll see you know, some more interesting stuff here in the coming weeks once we know for sure who we're going with. My money's on Malik Willis starting the home opener against the Colts. We'll see how this week progresses, but you know, you got to understand, you know, from a fan standpoint, we sit here and go, oh, they got till Sunday. You know, they can figure this out. It's like, man, this is starting now. They were on that plane already coming up with what's going to happen for week 2 against the Colts. So you got to know who your quarterback's going to be. I think a decision's going to be made pretty swiftly, and we're going to go ahead and get that guy ready. to play in the home opener against the Colts.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. I think that's where my money would be too.
Yeah,
I understand if you go get Tannehill, but if you said, hey, you got to bet one way or another, I think they're probably rolling with Malik Willis. Professor Cakes in the chat. Actually, we'll get to that here in a second. Everybody's cracking me up. United Bates says, I lost my voice screaming, go down, LOL. I was screaming at the top of my lungs, Bates. I was screaming some 4-letter words in with that go down. And you, this, that, and the other, too. But anyway.
Heard it from a fan right here.
Exactly. Greg Rice says, I was saying, do not take it out. So everybody was on the same page other than Ja. This is my favorite. Greg Rice said, hey, nickel 4-3-5 is my defense. I copyrighted it. There you go. Got it, man. And Professor Cake said, how can Ja get a negative on that play besides his stupid decision to run out of the INT? Yeah, he left his assignment, but he left it because Nixon didn't know what he was supposed to do. Not the case, man. Not the case. It doesn't matter. You don't bail on your assignment because someone else is screwing up.
Now you just created two guys missing. Yeah, that's why he's going to get a negative mark on.
Let me give you an example too. This goes way back. This isn't just like, oh, this is modern football. Like there was a play in Dallas at the Cotton Bowl, I think it was. This was the year before the Ice Bowl, and Dave Robinson, I think it was Dandy Don Meredith, took the snap and rolled out of the pocket, right, and ended up throwing an interception, okay? Now, Dave Robinson bailed on his assignment, and I think he's the one who picked the pass off. He either picked it off or he put the pressure on Dandy Don Meredith. And I love hearing Dave Robinson, Hall of Famer, talk about that. He said, I got in the meeting room the next day, got a -2. Lombardi gave him the worst grade you can get on that play because it wasn't his assignment. You can't go play hero ball like that. And Ja has been notorious for it. He has. So, again, it worked out there. But I'm not going to be hypocritical and go, okay, it worked. I ain't complaining. No. If you see it, you got to say it. That wasn't his assignment.
I feel like Ja's a corner with the mindset of a free safety, you know? Like he just –
Maybe that would be a better spot. I don't know, Tim. I'm discouraged as hell about it, man.
Yeah.
I love the dude. You kidding me? 90% of our sound drops for Jair Alexander. I want him to be on this team and doing great because when he's doing great, man, he is so entertaining. But even when you get a positive outcome, you still find something that he did, wrong. It's just, I don't know, it's strange. But again, I'm not sitting there pretending like I could do it any better, coach it any better. Lord knows it couldn't be farther from the truth. But that keeps popping up with Jair Alexander. So, that being said, Tim, anything else you want to add, man? We're ready to wrap this thing up. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. Rumble. Everybody in here on Rumble. You guys are awesome. Got Larry Cano in the house. What'd Larry say? Let's see what Larry said. He said, Jordan probably made the throw to Musgrave C and 53's back and let Mus make a play. He was definitely I think he was definitely expecting Musgrave to not stay hot there. And, of course, Musgrave stayed hot. That's kind of the way it looked to me. I could be wrong.
I agree with Larry there, though. I do. I think that's why Jordan kind of floated that one, because what we were looking for there is a missile. You want to hammer that throw early and not late, trying to drop it in the bucket dead in the middle of the field with a linebacker and a safety. It's just recipe for disaster.
Yeah, definitely. So Chris Nichols says in the chat, Nixon and Jair are not my kind of players. Bring in Williams and Bullard in the slot, in my opinion. I can't argue with that. I can understand it. I can understand that standpoint for sure. And listen, Bullard didn't play a great game. He didn't, but the fact that he's won that starting job, what we want to see from Bullard, realistically, grading out in the 60s, keeping that passer rating when targeted reasonable, somewhere within the top 32, top 64 of the league amongst safeties. That's kind of what you're wanting to see from Javon Bullard, in my opinion. So, that's there's your Chalk Talk Eagles week 1. That was fun, though, man. We learned a lot. We finally got a good look at Jeff Hafley's defense. Tim, do you think there's anything there that we didn't prep ourselves for? Because to me, I think the two things that stood out the most was you're seeing a lot of single high looks. You're still seeing shell coverage. We knew they wouldn't completely abandon that, right? You're seeing more explosives with the man coverage, which I hate to say that we got that right. It sucks that we got that right. I was hoping that I would be like, nope, I was completely wrong there. And then the other thing was that overload look. that we talked about. That's going to be kind of a staple in passing situations where there's no threat to run on that specific play. You're going to put those 3 defenders from the tackle in and free up that wide 9 opposite side. But anything else that kind of caught you off guard from the defense, and we'll wrap up here.
No, did we talk about the field conditions? No, I'm just kidding.
That was the other thing. Keyshawn Nix
said hearing about the field. I mean, our guys were involved and Philly's guys were involved. So each team had representatives to make that happen. They had issues with high humidity. The field was dry earlier in the day. It was definitely damp. It is what it is. It's football. I mean, we've played in blizzards and monsoons and all kinds of things. I mean, it's just part of the game. I was just joking. I feel like we've talked ad nauseum about that field. And, it to me, I mean, it looked about as good, if not better than Soldier Field's surface. So we play against them at least once a year down there. So it's just part of football, guys. We can't always play on the beautiful, perfectly manicured grass of Lambeau Field, but hey, it's just football.
That's all it is. It's just football. Professor Cake says, hey, on the bright side, we didn't hear Stokes' name a whole lot. And usually for a corner, that's a good thing. I think he's probably the best corner last night. I can't remember if he graded out as the highest corner in PFF. He may have. I think he did.
Tackling is just really poor. That's pretty much the downside with Stokes. Hopefully he works on that and we see an improvement.
And Randy Cleaver says tackling and dropped interceptions.
Yep.
Again, that's the big thing. United Bates, what about Nixon bringing that kick out? Anything on that? If that was a decision of the coaches. Bates, I still haven't heard. I want to forget about it, to be honest with you, but I think I'm going to be even more angry if the coaches told him to bring it out.
Yeah, right. Speaking of boneheaded decisions, I don't think anyone wants to step up and admit they made that choice.
Right.
That cost us not just the yardage, but the time.
Yeah.
That is not the time to do it, man. Every second counts. We got no timeouts. Take that knee and let's get the ball in a 30 and go 70 yards and walk off. I was literally hoping that was what we were going to see.
It cost you roughly 15 yards of field position and one play. That's what it cost you. 6 seconds roughly. So you missed out on one extra play at the end and 15 yards of field position. Think of where they were before Jordan got hurt. Tack on 15 more yards and give them one more play. So you got 3 shots to get in field goal range, right? Or within, not field goal range, but within range to throw a Hail Mary. Again, it's not the reason you lost the game, but it's still a boneheaded mistake, whoever made the call.
Yep.
Just, man. So anyway,
I honestly think Keyshawn's got the latitude to do what he wants back there. I truly believe that. He was given the bag this offseason to be the return guy. You got to think that he's got the keys and permission to drive the car however he sees fit. So I'm going to put that one on K9. I think that was his choice. And you know where his heart is, right? He's thinking, oh man, if I break one off here and we walk off on a return touchdown, that's going to be great. He's trying to make a play for the team, but goodness gracious, that was bad.
I'll tell you who was efficient on Friday night. It's this guy right here.
Hey,
my man was as consistent as they come. So
they let him off early. He didn't have to work his shift at the sheriff's department.
Bon dia.
We're out, guys. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us. This is Chalk Talk Week 1. Packers, Eagles. Obviously, Packers lose a tough one there, 34-29. We're gonna bounce back next week. I don't care if Uncle Rico's playing quarterback. We're bouncing back next
week. Throw a football over them mountains over there.
Right. For those of you, hey, Tim, can you help me here? I'm not sure if you can or not.
For those of you listening on the pod,
thank you for making us part of your day. As always, let's go out and be the change we want to see in the world. And go Pack, go.
It's better over here. AT&T customers, switching to T-Mobile has never been easier. We'll pay off your existing phone and give you a new one free. All on America's largest 5G network. Visit T-Mobile.com/carrier freedom to switch today.
Pay off up to $650 via virtual prepaid MasterCard in 15 days. Free phone up to $830 via 24 monthly bill credits plus tax. Qualifying port-in, trade-in service on Go 5G Next and credit required. Contact us before canceling entire account to continue bill credits or credit stop and balance and required finance agreement is due.